Right, welcome back everybody. Did you enjoy the food and the connections?
Yes, thank you.
As Christine said to me the other day, don't stop, don't let them eat, keep the momentum running. They'll go away, they'll eat and they'll then fall asleep. Did you enjoy the food and the connection? Yes. Do you want me to go and have a sleep now? Anyway, welcome back everybody. This is my favourite part as I get to showcase three amazing humans I work with. And I want to apologise for all the other amazing humans that I also work with that are in the room going, why am I not up here? So Charles, you had a holiday and I didn't have time to debrief you. Anyway, two of these clients I met from the funding of Auckland Unlimited in 2020. I have to say Auckland Unlimited because that's what they were known by in 2020 before they changed their name. I've continued the journey with them. Kelly Young, co-owner of 9 Round Albany. No guess which one's Kelly. She's just celebrated her 5th birthday. Doesn't she look great for 5? I'm actually going to step back so that everyone over there can see. Can you see now? Can you see them, not me? Right. So she celebrated her 5th birthday on the weekend. And Sarah Donaldson, who owns Fit Health in Warkworth and also co-owns Insight Security with her husband, Scott Donaldson, also in Warkworth. She just returned late last night from Rarotonga. So, don't all go and slap her for having a holiday. She's had a holiday. Curtis Stowers, so he's the boy on the couch. I met at an event a few years back with his lovely wife, Monica Moore. You can stand again, Monica. No, she doesn't want to. And I'm so humbled to be on the journey with them all. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Jane Finlayson and her team at Taraki Auckland Unlimited. So Jane, would you like to just stand and let people know who headed the team to help many businesses within Auckland? She probably doesn't want to either, but hey, this is Jane. And I'd like to also invite the team from the Pacific Business Trust to stand, please. And they have supported these clients and thousands more. It's staggering the volume of businesses that we all had to navigate through COVID for business support. Right, that's enough about me. Let's get started. So, Kelly Young. She has a big birthday this year. I won't tell you which one. I am so proud of you. Not only have you just had your 5th birthday and what a celebration it was, but I hope everyone's got their ears turned on with what I'm about to say. Kelly took everyone on the 5th birthday back to the 80s. Now, for those of you who don't know what 9 Rounds is, it's a 30-minute boxing, kicking, boxing, whatever you want to do, fitness session. And she brought back the G-string leotard. How many women in this room had one of those? How many of those women still have a G-string leotard? Anyway, that's enough about G-string leotards. But thanks, Kelly. You certainly brought back a few memories for me that I probably wanted to forget about. But Kelly, and have we got the mic handy? Yeah. Kelly, what emotion did you have knowing it was your 5th birthday?
Hello. Can you guys hear me? Oh yeah. So what emotions do I have going into my 5th birthday? Obviously being a gym and having the last 3 years has been extremely tricky. It was definitely touch and go many a times over that period. Probably heading into the emotion I had about heading into our 5th birthday was extremely proud, and probably more so than anything, feeling more resilient than I've ever felt before from knowing that we've navigated through such challenging times and have been to some dark places, both mentally and physically myself, to then have to really look at the way I look at my lifestyle, because it is your lifestyle that you do every single day, day in, day out, that is what is your driver to who you are as a business owner. If you go home and do unhealthy habits, you're going to take those unhealthy habits with you, whether you know it consciously or not, into your business. And over sometimes, the unhealthy habits were going home and opening up a bottle of wine and drinking that to relieve some stress. It was going home to being unorganised with the meals that I needed to know that was going to feed me right. It was too lack of sleep because I'd stay out too late trying to figure out how to navigate through a business problem. All of those things there, I had to really relook at it because with the challenges we had with COVID, it heightened everything. So there was more challenge, more pressure. So I really had to relook at my lifestyle and it took going down low mentally to then rebuild how I did my daily habits and my routine. And so rebuilding from there, it allowed me to go into the 5th year feeling stronger than I've ever felt before as a business owner, as a mother, as a partner, as a friend. And now I feel really confident,
When I first met you, Kelly, it was at the start of COVID 2020, and there were some serious challenges for businesses, including yours. I love how you use the word nourishment, because realistically that's what you do to help your clients, is to re-nourish themselves to be better people. Reflecting back from then to now, I don't want you to go all the way back to 2020, but I kind of do. What are the three things that have grown you as a business owner?
3 things that have grown me as a business partner would be going back to my authentic self. So really having to look at, like I said, those habits that I thought were suppressing, that I thought were helping me through the situation, but they were actually suppressing problems and making it even tougher to get over those problems. So really stripping myself back to my authentic self and realising, what do I want out of life? What do I want out of life as a business owner? What does that look like to me? And one key that I've really kind of found over this journey is, or a key word is happiness, is that we're not just here to live, or we're not just here to exist, but we actually want to live our life. And so for me, I know business is always going to throw challenges at me. So the one thing that I want to look at is I want to enjoy the journey, even the challenging parts. And if you're not happy, then you're not going to enjoy those parts, and you're also going to miss the good parts as well, because you're going to be stuck in either a stress state, either a survival state, or something like that. So mine was stripping it back, and to be honest, my environment hasn't changed. That what's going on in the world hasn't changed, but my perspective on life has. And so I'm able to really enjoy the journey. So one would be happiness. Another one would be present. Learn to be really present in the moment so that you can deal with the situations as they come and not be looking too far ahead and seeing it as a inconvenience. You know, many people at the moment are having challenging moments with their team, you know, just even showing up for a shift, having a smooth week. Who here has had a smooth week yet? You know, with their staff members being able to all be present at the time. You know, we're all dealing with similar situations, so it's being able to be present and being comfortable with being where you are so that you can actually deal with the situations at hand, but be happy with your environment. So yeah, I'd say be present, be happy, and just enjoy the ride.
Thanks, Kelly. It's interesting that you say be comfortable, because when I work with my clients, I get them to be uncomfortable to get comfortable, don't I, Kelly? Yeah. So this is not my natural state to be up here talking to all of you. I normally like to talk with my business owners more intimately, and certainly not with all these people looking at me. But the other thing is, I always say to my clients, you can only control what you can control, so don't worry about the rest. There's a reason why they call a Teflon pan a Teflon pan. So what you put in a pan doesn't stick, right? So it's the same thing as about your mindset, is if something is concerning you, actually take a step back and really look at, am I going to be consumed by it? Or can I take a moment? Because you don't have to jump into anything. When you jump into it, it becomes reactive, right? And when it's reactive, then you have a whole range of negative, like it's a domino effect. Who's been guilty of that? I would hope all of you would put your hands up, because I've done it and I continue to do it, and it's a human trait that we do. But the other bit of wisdom that I wanted to give you, that I give to my clients, is 10 little words that I got given in my deep, darkest moment. And if it is to be, it is up to me. 10 little words like that. And that's really what it's about. You are responsible for your own destiny. And it really is up to you. And everything else around it is just noise. And what you do with the noise is up to you. All right, moving on to Mr. Curtis. That's not really his last name, but anyway, Curtis. That'll be you? Right. So, Curtis, as I said, we met at a networking event with your gorgeous wife, Monica Moore. Just mentioning her again in case you've forgotten. But, sorry, how could you forget Monica? So I was sharing my life story as the guest speaker, so you get to hear my story again today, lucky you. And, I felt really humbled that you reached out to work with me a few months back on shaping your new venture, which started with a name and ended up with a new name. And that name is Conference in a Box. And I love how you said you've not had anything so flash. He was referring to me. Well, actually, he wasn't. Or he was. I'm not quite sure. He was actually referring to Laurie. Laurie has been on the brand journey with Curtis, and she's developed... So, Laurie, just take a stand again so people know who you are. This talented lady, Laurie is a brand specialist, but she doesn't just do brands. She does everything from photography, branding, building websites, lead pages. Sounds like she does a lot. She actually does. But anyway, Curtis, what I'd like to know is, what is Conference in a Box?
Hello, everyone. It's funny hearing your own voice. Conference in a Box. Conference in a Box was a concept initially until we met Catherine, and she's turned it into a concept and a reality. The whole idea about Conference in a Box is that we've discovered that if you want speakers for a conference and you're struggling to find them, it's hard to find really good speakers. I mean, you can get you can spend the money and get the John Keys, or you can spend the money and get the Sir Graham Henrys, but it's finding relatable people who you can talk to. And what we've found with Conference in a Box, it's an organisation we've set up. It's got 12 really good speakers, and these are speakers, facilitators. They're also MCs, and so if you're having a conference and you're not sure what you need, what we do is we help you. We help you through that journey. We take all the stress away, because sometimes when you're told to organise a conference, the food and the sort of beverage side is fine, or the venue's fine. But finding the great speakers, finding the people who will make a difference to your conference, that's what people struggle with. So we've developed Conference in a Box to help take the stress away of finding really good speakers and people to communicate to your crowd.
Thanks, Curtis. I'm glad you know what your business is all about. That's really helpful. And you can show your flashcards to everybody at lunch. Sarah, we initially met to help you with your other business, not the one that you're sitting on the couch for. So Sarah is an occupational therapist, and she's recently been on the journey of rebranding her business, Fitworks Health. Not the name, but
giving it a more community feel and really just showing what she's about and what she's wanting to provide to the community. I'm loving the logo and I love the story behind it, and I want you to talk to people about it. So let us get you to talk through what you do as an occupational therapist and how you help corporates and businesses, and what your new brand and business can offer business owners.
Thank you. Does anyone know what an occupational therapist does? Yep. Yeah, a few people. Okay. Well, we all do different things, and some of us work with children, and some of us work with children with mental health, or children with physical health, or a whole range, or adults, elderly, all sorts. So my specialty's really been more in brain injury, and then focusing into the workplace and returning people back to, or back safely and sustainably back into their workplace after they've had an injury. Which, as Kelly mentioned, you know, coming through a journey where you've had a significant injury and you're trying to just get back into normal life can be difficult and challenging for everyone, no matter whether it's just been a simple injury. So who's had an injury that they've, yes, most people have had, and some little injuries but hit them hard, and some have been major injuries where they've had time out of their lives, and we all get affected if we've had injuries, you know, financially, emotionally, socially, and everyone gets affected around us as well. So I work with people that have had injuries, and I work with a company that has the ACC contract to rehab people back into their lives, and their lives do involve work, obviously. And more so, Fitworks Health is also about linking the person to the workplace and the workplace to the person as well. And so some people find that their journey takes them in a different way. When one door shuts and they maybe can't go back to that job that they had, then another door tends to open, which is great. And sometimes I'm helping them look at doors that can potentially open for them after they've had different effects in their lives. I really enjoy the injury prevention space after 20 years of being an OT and seeing a number of injuries that can be easily prevented, such as workplace setup. So we've all got workplaces, whether it's in front of a computer, whether it's on a manufacturing line, out roading, a whole range of different constructions. There is a workplace and a workspace, and some of us do not know how to use our tools, and so I'm the one that helps you figure out how your chair works and how can you be set up correctly so you don't keep having the neck pain or back pain that you do every single week after and wondering why. So injury prevention, injury rehab, management. There's a flyer in your one of my flyers are in your bags that you've got, so just check me out. I'm still navigating the space with social media and but getting there. So I've chosen koru as my main symbol because it is new life, new beginnings for me and my business, even after 20 years. And I've chosen I live on the Kowhai coast, so chosen the Kowhai colours of the green and gold as well. So thank you very much, Catherine, for helping me through this.
Thanks, Sarah. And I just also want to be vulnerable again. So when I said to you I was sitting on the couch way back when trying to figure out whether I let what happened to me consume me or I get on with it, I also actually activated an insurance policy that I had not to kill my husband at the time, so he's very much still alive. I'm just divorced from him. And you can laugh, that was funny, but anyway. You can see I'm not in Vegas, but anyway. But what I did is I had a personal disability insurance policy, and I had that. I took that policy out when I had the aneurysm and lost the hearing in my left ear. Naturally, I couldn't use that policy for hearing loss, so I didn't take any action on it, but I was able to use that policy to get well again. And when I say well again, I wasn't suffering from depression or anxiety, which was kind of a diagnosis that was given to me to start with. I was actually suffering from what's called post-traumatic stress disorder. And if it wasn't for my occupational therapist, who I credit for actually giving me a good kick up the backside and motivating me, I probably would have taken a bit longer, and they were quite intrigued with how I brought myself back out of that hole. And so the work that the OTs do is very understated, and I salute anyone who's in that space, including you, Leslie, who have also in that space. It's Organic Darling, and in the bag that you've got, you'll see a brand called Koolium, and Koolium is something you should have in your office to help your staff. It's natural products made here in New Zealand, and Leslie from It's Organic Darling has that as one of the many products. So Leslie, do you want to take a stand quickly? So you know who Leslie is? And she is standing, by the way. Right, so back to the people on the couch. I've got some quick fire questions that I want to put to you. So what I'd like to do is ask you the question, you answer it and then fire it along to each other. So, or you can go opposite way. You can put each other on the spot. So, what is most important for me? Oh, I can see them all cringing. Gosh, can you feel their pain? I just suddenly felt it. It's going to be okay. You can control what you can control, right? Remember, if it's to be, it's up to me. So, starting with what is most important for me is when I feel myself falling out of balance, and that does happen. I'm not Wonder Woman. I do things to bring myself back into balance. I've recently taken up deep water walking, which is quite a laugh. I spend more time giggling than I do walking, but I have a great time and I get home completely motivated. So what do you do, team on the couch, to get that work-life balance?
Oh, okay. Well, it seems that what I do is, I think it's really important to take time to reflect. It's really important to take time for yourself. There's so many things being dumped on everyone at the same time, you know, and all of us have that when you come home. I mean, you're at work, you get people hassling you, especially as business owners, and you're solving everyone else's problems. And then you sort of realise when you get home, you've got your own problems you've got to look after. And I think sometimes you've got to step back and go, whoa, hang on, just tell the world to go away and just spend a bit of time just reflecting on where you want to be at, what you want to do, and tell everyone to go away, but go away nicely. And just take some time to reflect on what you want to achieve for the next day, but do it in a nice way. That's what I do. Yeah, go on.
I try and actually, the gratitude really is for me, so I try and think about three things that you know I have to be thankful for, and that sort of pulls me out of any dark, deep, low spots that I have, and then I can then refocus. So that could be, you know, health, family, you know, everything's okay.
I'm going to swear, but I have like a bucket list, but it's called a fuck yeah list. I do something on my fuck yeah list, and it's called a fuck yeah list because it makes you go, fuck yeah, you know? So, you know, on that list, it's anything from bungee jumping to like going to crazy hikes to, you know, doing something at home with the kids to just living. So, yeah, I look hard at my fuck yeah list, and you're welcome to take that away with you guys and go and create your own. And I do something on there because that makes you feel like you're alive. All right?
I love working with you, Kelly. In fact, I sometimes go home and I find Kelly in my backyard, and she says, Catherine, I'm just going to sunbathe till we start working. Then I find her in my pool. Right. She loves it. And she plays golf on a Friday. She's the most grumpiest person ever if she doesn't get to the golf course. What a boring game that is. Anyway, next question is going to be about me, actually, so you better have some good answers. No, I'm just joking. What benefits are there to having a business advice or a coach when you're working in business? And I'm going to start with you, Sarah.
Well, everything. Just the guidance, the expertise, the knowledge that you've got and business advisors have from working with multiple businesses for years. I've got my own skill set in terms of injury prevention, injury management, and rehab, and you've got your skill set in terms of goals and strategies for businesses. So.
Well, basically, for us, we don't know what we don't know, and that's the beauty of it. Is because by telling you what we don't know, you go, well, that's okay, because we'll figure it out together, and you help us build that knowledge. And so, all of a sudden, you've got a jigsaw puzzle, and you've got places being put into place rather than just big gaps there. And the good thing is, as the picture comes more and more clearer, sometimes you think, oh, hang on, I want to change my picture, as we did. And so we'll change it, and then you'll help us through that whole journey, and like meeting people such as Laurie and his skill set, people like the BPT, just rocking the skills. And there's a whole lot of people out there who are willing to help each other, and you help make those connections, and so that's been tremendous for us.
I'm going to skip Kelly for a reason. I'll come back to you, Kelly. I haven't skipped you, really. You've all worked with the business engine community, and obviously, as I said, I'm one person, so I am known as being the bush lawyer, but I'm not really a lawyer, and I need Andrew from Tally McKeek, so Andrew, stand, because you were one of the providers, or you are one of the providers in the engine, and Amy, if you could stand as well. So without these wonderful people to help me navigate the journey for my clients, my clients trust me. They go, put me wherever I need to be, and they just trust me. They don't go and research who Andrew is or Amy. And Amy, I want to thank you for what you do with my clients, and you, Andrew, because we've had some curly ones along the way. That truck is noisy. Right, so what I'm going to do is I skipped Kelly for a reason, but I didn't really. So I have to push this lectern back out again, and then I have to figure out how to turn myself off. And it's a bit bright now in here.
I definitely believe having a business advisor is an investment rather than a cost to the business. COVID's given our business quite the shake-up, and without Catherine's guidance, support, knowledge and accountability, I believe we wouldn't still be here right now. Catherine cares so much for her clients, and she goes over and beyond to help them find solutions to any challenges that you have within a business that you possibly wouldn't have found yourself.
So that's the power of marketing. Thanks, Kelly. Do you still believe it, or was that a script we wrote?
No, I believe it. Yeah, for sure. But I'd definitely say from a health and wellness perspective, having someone that bats for you, because, it can feel like a lonely place being a business owner, because, your staff have got you to turn towards. You've got the responsibility of looking after them. You tend to take a lot of it home. It can be quite a lonely place to be able to share, or you might feel like you don't have a platform to share your concerns and your problems that you're going through. So having a business advisor that is batting for you as well, and you can be, like I said, authentic before and vulnerable. I think that's really important. So yeah.
So that's the wrap, people. I'd like to do a round of applause to these wonderful people on the couch. And they are one of the many, many people that are in business in New Zealand that take a risk every day and provide employment to others. So thank you again. I love everything about what you guys stand for and the work that you do. So thank you.